first. Red light on. Ready for a break. Racing. Starter's Delight bouncing as one. Who'll lead? All Valor's rolling forward out wide, showing speed. Westoak along the inside. Adelaide not too far away, in motion, fourth on settling down. Totspur's rolling forward, but a bit wide of the early part. Followed by Planned Encounter. She's got no early speed. Mashani Light of the centre, and Capital C, who actually jumped well, has been dragged back to be last of all. That's the first call. Down the back straight, 1100 left to run. Your leaders are Westoak, and All Valor. Westoak's got it by a neck. Two-away third in motion. Outside of Adelaide, parked fourth on the rail. Gallop looks to be good. These leaders are going fairly strongly up front. Then a margin of 3 to Totspur. A length away to Planned Encounter. A length and a quarter Mashani Light and Capital C on the inside last, but no more than 5 off the lead. Heading inside the 800 metres, Westoak still repelling that challenge of All Valor. The margin about ahead now. Adelaide's been given every chance in third, likewise in motion in fourth. Then came Totspur, Planned Encounter. Mashani Light is trying to start a run. It's scrubbed along to do so, and Capital C just sitting back waiting for it all to unfold at the tail end. They fan around the bend now, 450 left to run. Westoak headed off by All Valor on the outside. Here's the time for Adelaide now to produce. It comes up 3 wide outside the pair. Then Planned Encounter trying to get clear. Capital C's running on reasonably well, starting to work into the picture. The other 3 were struggling. Adelaide got to the front. Capital C's after it gamely now. Planned Encounter tried to come through in the centre. There was no room. Capital C on the outside, on the inside Adelaide. Stride for stride. It's a stirring go. Here they come to the line. I'd say Adelaide bobbed and beat Capital C. Third over the line was Planned Encounter. A little like at a vital stage, then All Valor, followed by Westoak. Further back came In Motion, Mashani Light. Totspur last over the line.
So Adelaide over on the inside will get up from Capital C. Not a lot in it, but there looks to be a margin to the inside horse there. And then Planned Encounter. And we're waiting for All Valor. So no numbers on the board as yet. It's between the 1 and the 5. Capital C coming at Adelaide. So we have a look at a different angle. Adelaide, CJ Graham, and on the outside there, Capital C with Bailey Wheeler. Not a lot of luck for Planned Encounter. That's her getting squeezed out of it late. She sort of rallied again late, but in the wash-up she's been beaten a couple of lengths on the line there. And then a gap away to All Valor back in fourth spot. So we're just waiting for the numbers to go up on the board, Bernie, between the 1 and the 5. So we have a look at the head-on in the home straight, looking for Planned Encounter here. Got squeezed out at a vital point.
Alrighty, yes, great job. Sorry, I just couldn't hear anything then in my ear. But Adelaide, he's back to his best. Tony Sears is here. We'll have a chat with Tony shortly. Yes, he's just having a big drink of water. I do consider that would have been very thirsty work cheering Adelaide on. But he obviously started his career with a bit of a bang, Tony, and it's really nice to see him getting back into form once he gets to a suitable trip, obviously.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bernie. Yeah, congratulations first to the owners and my daughter, co-trainer, Maddie, and all the staff. No, he's a really nice horse. We've always thought that he's going to be a nice horse when he gets to 10 furlongs. He hasn't really switched on properly yet, but he'll probably go from here and go to the Guineas up in Toowoomba over a mile, and hopefully he can step up a bit better.
Yeah, I love his demeanour. I love his race day behaviour.
Yeah, well, he's a bit like me sometimes. He's a bit too casual. You know, he doesn't... I was just saying to CJ before the race that he's actually a bit too casual. You know, he doesn't worry about too much. He probably only does what he has to do, and hopefully he'll start switching on. But he's a really nice, lovely horse to do anything with, and he's got all the traits. Hopefully, being a stayer. Did your owners breed him or buy him? Yeah, we did. Melvin Foo's brother-in-law bred him at Eureka Stud, and we have a brother to him in work, and I actually raced the mare as well. But he's a nice horse going forward. Yeah. Right on, Tone. Thank you. All right, let's have a chat now with CJ Graham. I always liked riding the first winner. I always felt as if that was, put you in the right mood for the day.
Definitely, yeah, it always helps. But really good to get a winner for Tony and Maddie. They give me quite a lot of support before my last injury, so this is my first ride back for them since that, so it's nice to really knock the winner off for them.
Take us through the race.
Tony said, like, you can be handy, but just really have him in a nice, relaxed rhythm. And I did anticipate they'd go slower than that early, but it was sort of a bit of a race to the front, and it was good. It really suited my horse. He was in a good rhythm, and when they wanted to back it off sort of from the 800 onwards, he just was a little bit green, wanted to overdo it a touch, but it was really good that he was in for the fight with that other horse.
And surely gets better as he gets out over a longer trip.
Definitely, yeah. Over further, he'll be much better, and he's only going to learn his craft the more he races.
Well done.
Thank you.
Race 2 at Eagle Farm. Favourites drawn alongside each other. They're off and racing this time. And Kia Royale beat Jayanthi out at the start. Barista Sister was nicely away outside of Kia Royale early. Swamp Nation going forward. Jayanthi will be about fourth as they run to that first bend with no pressure on at all. Kia Royale is just jog-trotting in front. Fleetwood Macca slots in fifth outside of Avalante, taken back, and Crazy Trainers last. Well, it's all Kia Royale's way. The big money is on at the 800 metres, and she is cruising in the lead. 3/4 to Swamp Nation in second. Jayanthi sitting third in behind Kia Royale, but the leader is getting a picnic. Fourth, the outside Barista Sister. The next pair, Fleetwood Macca covering Avalante and 2 Crazy Train. 6 lengths span them, 500 left to run. They go on to the turn, and Kia Royale couldn't have wished for a better run in front. Swamp Nation being pushed along. Jayanthi will have to try and outsprint Kia Royale, who's going great guns presently. Then came Barista Sister. Kia Royale in front, sprinting hard and fast now. Jayanthi still a length and a quarter behind it. And they'll fight it out from Fleetwood Macca rolling up to third. It's Kia Royale the leader. Jayanthi's putting it on the outside. Kia Royale, not a lot of gas in the tank, but enough to get home and lead all the way. She had a picnic in front of Big Jayanthi. Barista Sister third. Crazy Train fourth. Then Avalante, Fleetwood Macca, and a gap to Swamp Nation, who was last over the line.
8, 7, 5 and 2. Well, she did have a picnic, didn't she? She set up shop and back for tempo off. You could see that by watching the sectionals, top right part of the screen there, and she's maintained a margin of about a length and a half over her main betting rival Jayanthi all the way up the running, and the punters were all over her like a rash when they were even up to the point of moving into the starting gates there. She was $2.20 on the QOP about 15 minutes ago, ended up running at $1.90, and there are the prices across the parimutuel tote. So just absolutely pitchforked into the race there with a rating of 84. Fillies and Mares Class 6, 56 kilos, bouncing straight to the lead for Jimmy Orman. And this combination of Waller Orman up here, I've got another winner. The runner-up, very good. She sat right behind Kia Royale, Jayanthi. So she's in great form. She just bumped into a mare that was dropping significantly in grade. Barista Sister getting third and met a gap away to Crazy Train back and forth on the rails, Bernie. But the favourite home and hosed in race 2.
Terrific, wasn't she? We're going to have a chat now with Brett Killian on behalf of Chris Waller, and she looked in great order, Brett, and she's raced accordingly.
Yeah, only come up during the week, and for a filly, she's really handled the trip exceptionally well. Looks a much more furnished horse than when we had her up here last time.
Will she hang around this time?
Gee, I hope so. Yeah.
You'd think, well, not that we often get fillies and mares Class 6 plates, but there'd be plenty of other races to suit.
Yeah, well, today's race she was obviously very well placed because it got in very well at the weights, coming off strong Sydney form, and we didn't want to lead, but there was no pace, and we got there pretty easy. It was just kind of a 5 and 2 gallop for her.
Yeah, she almost thought she was in a trial, I think.
Yeah, it looked that way, but when she did get that little bit of pressure, she had plenty up. Yeah,
she did. Well done.
Thanks.
All right, there's Brett Killian, 8 beats 7, 5 and 2, 110.78 home and 32.62. Pretty hard to catch that, I think. All right, that's race 2, Eagle Farm. Here's Hawkesbury.
I made 7, 10 and 4. I'm going with 8 each way. Who Dat to beat 7 Hell of a Deal, then 10 and 4.
Here's David.
Racing. Better Not Bitter began well with Kind Wish and Gambu only fairly way inside of them. Grecian Lass rolling forward, so is Semaphore Girl and so too is Sarsen, so a few going for the front. Full Press not too far away, Hell of a Deal drifting back. Then came Who Dat, Lucky Exchange and Duke of Gordon. That's the first call. They'll sort themselves out now. 1,500 left to run. And in a new roll, Semaphore Girl off on a back marker is setting up shop in front. Grecian Lass went to second. Better Not Bitter lands the box seat third. Kind Wish fourth and Sarsen in the yellow colours and the black cap fifth and 3 wide. 2 lengths away, Full Press outside of Gambu. Then came Who Dat, who's 3 wide, I'd suggest. Drifting back in the field was Hell of a Deal. It's third last outside of Lucky Exchange and outside the pair Duke of Gordon. About 8 lengths top end to tail, 1,000 left to run. Semaphore Girl and Grecian Lass. They share the front, but Semaphore Girl's got it by 3/4 now. They stretch away by 2.5 to Better Not Bitter, getting a tidy run in the middle stages. Third on the inside of Sarsen. Kind Wish fifth outside of Gambo on the rail, and then Full Press behind that pair. Who Dat's always been wide. Lucky Exchange closer to the rail. Hell of a Deal ridden patiently in second last, 6 off them, and Duke of Gordon pushed along at the tail end. Inside the 600 metres, more tempo now, where Semaphore Girl still holding out Grecian Lass. Now here come the challengers. 3 wide, Better Not Bitter navigating away from the rail. Kind Wish 4 out joining in. Gambu going up the inside. Hell of a Deal running up behind them. And then came Lucky Exchange trying to get into the picture. And further back was Who Dat, Kind Wish. Raced up and hit the lead now from Better Not Bitter. Hell of a Deal starts to rally strongly towards the inside. Kind Wish can't get away from Better Not Bitter. And now they've got to sustain the challenge from Hell of a Deal on the inside. Rolling back to the rail. Hell of a Deal took the lead and is going to win. Hell of a Deal beat home Kind Wish. Lucky Exchange and Better Not Bitter. Then came Semaphore Girl. Who Dat, Full Press, followed by Duke of Gordon, Gambu, Grecian Lass and Sarsen a minute away last.
So the Muddy was there to say that today was the day for Hell of a Deal. Heavy support. Beautiful ride coming through along the rails there and getting the cash. Kind Wish, then Lucky Exchange and then Better Not Bitter. 7, 12, 4 and 3. So Hell of a Deal, not raced for 4 weeks. She's been scratched the last couple of Saturdays and she presented quite well in the mounting yard as we had a good close look at her. And she's been able to step up from 1,400 a month ago to 1,800 today. No problems at all. It was a little bit of a dawdle there. There are a couple of horses that couldn't get in. Poor old Who Dat'll sleep well tonight, but Hell of a Deal with that good ride by Bailey Wheeler, the 3 kilos off Bernie and drawing inside. She's got that big gap to come through and puts them away, and it's onwards and upwards for her now.
Absolutely, Maxie. It was a great win, but it was an even better ride. I think Mark will agree. She got an absolute pearler. Many jockeys would have been tempted to go when they all did sort of at about the 500 metre mark. And you could see him, he just let Jimmy Orman sort of come out underneath him and he said, I'm going to ride this for luck.
Yeah, that's when I started to bag him.
Stop it, you didn't.
And no, it was a real good ride at the end, yeah. And the horse, she raced good. We've had a few ups and downs the last 3 weeks, and it's good to see her come through.
She has, and what she has shown you, I guess, is that she can go a month between runs.
Yeah, true, she can. By the look of it now, you learn every day.
You certainly do, and I mean, physically, she's such an athletic-looking girl, isn't she?
She's very athletic. She doesn't carry all that much condition. She's just sort of naturally fit all the time.
And I'm assuming you're going to press on in distance?
Yeah, well, we're looking at the Toowoomba Cup, so we'll see what happens.
All right, great stuff. You've done a fabulous job. I know you've had difficulties with her over the last month and you've come up trumps. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, there he is, winning trainer Mark Curry. He's done a superb job with this girl. And she's been scratched 2 or 3 times and she's gone 1,400. She's probably unlucky not to win last start. 1,400 to 1,800 here today. Got a great ride by Bailey Wheeler. 7 Hell of a Deal beats 12, 4 and 3. 150.5, 36, 32. Your last 3.
There's the light. They've moved in pretty smartly. We're set race 4. Started with the button, hits it, they're racing. Intuition off the inside began well with Cash Me, Iridessa and Savaleo. Kudataner rolling forward. Top Boy came out neutral, just trying to find a position. He's tucking in behind that leading division. They're followed then by Shernak and drifting out Roller Coaster and Heart of a Lion, second last and last. They proceed to the turnout of the straight with 1,800 metres left to go, and Kudataner crossed the face of the field and skipped away to lead by 2.5. Iridessa's in second. Cash Me found the rail, so the favourite is going to box seat him third, and Savaleo fourth on the outside. 2 to Intuition inside of Top Boy, who got him one off the fence. 2.5 to Shernak, and then 2.5 to Roller Coaster outside of Heart of a Lion. I'd suggest the speed is genuine. Down the back straight, 1,500 from the judge. If anything, Kudataner might be going a touch too quickly in front. His margin is 4 lengths over the rough. Iridessa's second. Cash Me getting a good run third on the inside, and Savaleo, those pink and blue colours, travelling in fourth. Behind that pair, Intuition, tucked away on the inside of Top Boy. Then came Shernak, Roller Coaster, and at last was Heart of a Lion. Down the back straight, short of 1,200 left to Rana, and Kudataner, he's inclined to fight the rider. He leads by 2 now, that margin narrowing as Iridessa gets closer. 2 to Cash Me third, given every chance the favourite. Savaleo fourth the outside. The pace is genuine because there's no change to the running order. The next pair, Top Boy, going well in midfield outside of Intuition. Shernak third last on the inside of Roller Coaster, and the triple figure roughie, Heart of a Lion, whipped them in. Down the side now, 700 left to Rana. Stop and start tactics with Kudataner. Again, he put a break on them by nearly 4, but Cash Me's got him well within his sights and is setting sail out after the leader. Iridessa put up the white flag, passed by Intuition. Savaleo, Top Boy travelling into the picture. Shernak is hunting along the rail, saving every bit of ground. Then Roller Coaster and Heart of a Lion, a long last by the 400-metre pole. Still Kudataner in front. Shernak has saved any amount of ground. Raced a second, chases after the leader. Then came Top Boy, Cash Me struggling. The favourite can't win. Then Intuition and Roller Coaster from the back, but Shernak below the 200 metres, weight rise and all, dashed away. Top Boy can make no impression. Kudataner's run his race, forget the rest, and Shernak goes back to back. Too strong, too tough. Shernak first, Top Boy second, Kudataner third, Roller Coaster fourth. Then Savaleo, Intuition, Cash Me went poorly. Then came Heart of a Lion and Iridessa, last over the line.
2, 6, 5 and 3 at Shernak with the 4 kilo rise in the weights after winning the same race, a benchmark 78, this track and distance 3 weeks ago. Rose in the handicaps, that didn't matter. What matters is that he's a real 2,200 metre specialist, this guy, and Mark Duplessis handled him perfectly. The gallop was strong. Kudataner with his blinkers on was too keen today. He was hard to control from the front, but he did ensure the gallop was nice all of the way, and those horses in behind had their chance thereafter, and Shernak has been able to make it back-to-back wins. It's all been about getting him up over these distances. Top Boy was very good. He had to do the chasing. He just went one pace the last 100, but he's in career best form at the moment, Top Boy. Kudataner and then Roller Coaster, and then they came in at long intervals behind. But that was a dominant win, Bernie, by Shernak. He's put up about 3 lengths on him today.
He was definitely the best stayer in the race. Brett Killian joins us for a chat now, and he looked $1 million and delivers as well. You're having an easy day out, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a good job because we know he sprinted well last start, but he had the 54.5, I think it was, which really helped him. So he stepped up today a bit in weight, but is still able to show a turn of foot.
I think he went up 4 kilos and didn't make a difference.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried when they raised the weights. He's not an overly big horse, and he's been in work about 6 months, so he's doing a tremendous job. Tremendous
job, and you would think on that win, stick around, there's plenty more to come.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be booked out anytime soon now.
Great stuff. Enjoy the double.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, there is Brett Killian, and Shernak takes out the stayers race here. Race number 4, 2 beat 6, 5 and 3, 2:18.04 the time. Home in 35.86. Let's head to Hawkesbury.
Race 5 at Eagle Farm, red light on. Miss Cooter, a well-backed favourite. Bailey Wheeler rides from barrier 2. Set, they're racing. Miss Cooter came away only fairly at the jump. Sideshow Sally fast to go from More Than a Star, and She Is All Magic third away. Meadows Doro in fourth, and Miss Cooter on the improve after the average beginning. It's fifth, and Find My Calm sixth the rail. Then Zabo, followed by Instagood, Oceans of Energy, and Margot's Bullseye is last of all. Travelling by the 600 metres, the speedy Sideshow Sally leads More Than a Star, who's been backed. Miss Cooter all of a sudden on the improved third at the turn. She Is All Magic wider. Then came Find My Calm, Oceans of Energy up the inside. Then Instagood, Zabo, and well back was Margot's Bullseye. Meadow Doro in the second half of the field. More Than a Star backed it on straight to a clear lead, and Miss Cooter's got to do decent chasing. Oceans of Energy running on strongly, favourite in strife. Meadows Doro putting in with Find My Calm. More Than a Star stopping. Oceans of Energy along the rail. Meadows Doro down the outside. Meadows Doro, Oceans of Energy. They hit the line. I'd say Meadows Doro from Oceans of Energy and Find My Calm between them. Instagood flashing late out wide. Margot's Bullseye and I catch her too. Miss Cooter couldn't come on. Then came Zabo. More Than a Star gave a sight but weakened late and beating to the line. Sideshow Sally knocking up pretty quickly with She Is All Magic.
Yeah, not much covering the first at least half a dozen horses there right across the track, but it's Meadows Doro in the middle, getting up by around about a long neck. It is close for the minors. You've got Oceans of Energy and Find My Calm. A nice performance by the debutante, Find My Calm there. So we're waiting for all of the minor numbers. Miss Cooter, she didn't jump and run, and she has done that before, but she had a chance thereafter. She got up into a nice spot right behind the leaders. Just not a lot of dash about her in the home straight there. She hasn't been beaten all that far, but clearly she was the best back runner and had her chance. But Meadows Doro, who finished about a head behind Miss Cooter last start, has gone a couple better today. She's been able to finish best in the middle to get up and score. More Than a Star gave a good kick, the big chestnut filly close to the inside there. And we can see Oceans of Energy on the rails starting to come through. They are really stretched across the track. But Meadows Doro gets it. Sean Cormack, Les Kelly. Find My Calm gets second. And Instagood on the outside gets that third spot. We're just waiting on fourth. So she's been a really consistent filly in her brief career so far.
All right. Thanks very much, Maxie. Melissa Kelly is going to join us for a chat, and my golly, you're doing a mighty fine job without these boys with you at the races.
Yeah, it's pretty peaceful. But Gary's here, so we've got to have someone, I suppose.
And this girl was very brave today, wasn't she?
She was. She sort of got trapped out a bit wide, and we were a bit worried about the gate. The other day she drew one and she kept kicking, but she come home strong.
That's 3 wins now from just 7 starts.
Yeah, she goes all right. I'm not going to lie. She's just taken a little bit of time to mature.
All right, so we'll look for her. How do you think she'll react at 1,200?
Well, going by today, she might be able to run over the top of her.
All right, we look forward to that. Well done to you and the team.
Thank you.
All right, there she is, Melissa Kelly on behalf of Les Kelly. And, every time Melissa rocks up to the races lately, she's got a winner. Let's have a chat now to winning jockey Sean Cormack, and a bit of a blanket finish there. They were coming from everywhere, but your girl, as I said to Melissa, very brave.
Yeah, and that's what I just said to Gary. It's a very tough one in a sense that I thought I had a great run, had cover. I was 3 deep, but I had nice cover. Pace was always going to be on, so I was really happy where I was. She challenged, and she was always going to get within contention. And once I got there, the challenges started coming from left and right. But I think she showed the other day that she's pretty tough. We led from a good barrier, and she tried to fight Miss Cooter off, and I thought it was a very tough run.
She has won an 1,100, and she has raced in a 1,200 where she was beaten about 5 lengths. But, gosh, on this win today, you'd think 1,200 is not going to be a problem for her?
I think ridden in this manner, yes. When there's a lot of speed like this over this sort of trip, it plays into your hands a little bit that she is versatile. Yeah. But, yeah, I think options will be open to her stepping over a little bit further.
Well done.
Thank you.
outside gate. No jumpers yet. Racing now. Oh, a couple came out terribly. Gossip Talk and the QS, they bungled the start completely. Fast to go, Hold On Honey, Lucifer's Loot keeping it out early. Never Say Nay was third away. Fourth Dragon Mist, then Hamilton Hill, Maximum Output, slotting in 6-1 off. Nashira directly behind them, then Super Air, Shock and Awe, followed by Groomed and Gossip Talk and the QS. They're out of play after bad starts. By the 600 metres, Hold On Honey, cruising alongside Lucifer's Loot. Dragon Mist in third, Never Say Nay, coming away from the rail. Maximum Output going wider at the bend. Nashira trying to thread the needle, and then came at the head of the others Hamilton Hill, followed by Super Air, and forget the rest. In the straight though, Hold On Honey leads the way. Nashira's getting up to the inside. Maximum Output is still putting in. Then Never Say Nay, followed by Super Air. Nashira on the inside is coming with a great burst of speed. At the 100 metres, Nashira reached the lead. Never Say Nay tries to go with it. Then Maximum Output. Nashira in front, too good. Beat Never Say Nay. Maximum Output and Hold On Honey. Then came Dragon Mist, followed by Hamilton Hill, Super Air, Groomed. Then came Shock and Awe. The QS blew the jump. Lucifer's Loot and Gossip Talk last of all.
Yeah, it was a bit of a messy old start for some there, but Nashira, he got a pretty good break and he was put into a beautiful position. And then Ben Thompson had to make up his mind coming towards the bend what to do. And they've been fanning pretty well. They've been using plenty of the track today, and he elected to, well, I think his first impression was to try and come around, but quickly went back to the inside and he wound up, went out after the leaders. Never Say Nay was really good there, gave a good kick, Maximum Output, and then Hold On Honey, 11, 10, 7 and 4 as we look at the concluding stages once again. So plenty of running over on the inside there. He puts a couple behind the saddle, and Nashira has got up to score for O'Day Hoisted. Ben Thompson riding him at the true weight, 53.5 kilos, and he gets home by around about half a length. Runner-up good, Aidan Thompson rode for Phil Bobick, and nothing else to really mention in that race there. Hold On Honey, he broke quickly, got up outside the leader, but has clearly felt the pinch late where his stablemate conserving that early energy, Bernie, for that big run along the inside there to get the cash.
Yeah, it was a great win, Nashira, and Steve O'Day joins us for a chat now. So you'd be most relieved after that strong win?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, good to see him do the job like that today. Look, he's obviously a horse that can be a little bit tricky and probably been accused a couple of times in the past of sort of looming up and not really knowing how to really go on with the job. But look, it maps really well for him here today. There was obviously plenty of speed. The stablemate, Hold On Honey drawing out wide, sort of had to work a little bit to come over, and they really ran along early. So allowed him to sort of get back and relax. And one thing you probably don't want to do with him is get there too soon. So, but look, he, that's probably as big a margin he's won for us, and he'll get plenty of confidence off that.
And I love the fact that that he had to come up the inside. I think it made the race for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, and that was the thing too. He just didn't have to sort of rush to get him there, and plenty of room up the inside. Was able to just let him roll through his gears, and was really strong on the line.
He's just so quiet for a 1,000-metre horse.
Yeah, look, it's funny sometimes. You can get those 1,000-metre horses that are real sort of bounce around, and they're always very full of themselves. And then sometimes you can get those guys that are really casual. And I know in the past we've had a few like sprinter horses that seem to just really save everything for race day. He's at home. If you don't put him with a mate, he's actually quite a casual worker. So, it's they're hard to work out sometimes.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Well done.
No worries. Thank you.
All right, Ben Thompson rides a winner today in the shape of Nashira, and what a beautiful run in transit you got.
Yeah, it panned out lovely, Bernie, and he needs that, the horse. He's got obviously great talent, but it is very much timing with him. He's as many, he hits the front and he can tend to think it's job done. But thankfully today, when we sort of got there in time, that it was, and there was nothing flashing at us late. But he's been great. Obviously, it was a really good run in a slowly run race behind Devastating first up. Great form out of that race, and he's already a winner at Eagle Farm, so perfectly placed today by Stephen O'Day and Matt Oisted.
And I think he enjoyed not having to sort of be involved in a hustle and bustle on the turn. He just slid through, everything opened up. It was just graceful.
It was, yeah. He did really enjoy himself. He's such a happy horse. From all reports, it's a pleasure to have around. And
so quiet.
He is. He's going to make, obviously, he's a lovely racehorse, and I'm sure he's going to be a lovely horse once he's a retiree. So he's got plenty of wins left in him. It looks like he's thinking about his tucker now and a good drink, but a great win.
Well done.
Thank you.
Set to go in race 7, the Des Lambert Memorial. They're all in. Light turned on. Racing. Zarastro out wide has begun fast. All that pizzazz began well, but Zarastro's sailing to the lead. Luskin Hero coming across with him. All that pizzazz settling third. And Zuma California on its best behaviour today. Jumped away well and is fourth at the first call. 2 to Hell I Am outside of Mass Destruction. A few lengths to Safe Work. Then Kanazawa ridden quietly today. And Ned's Gully is last of all. By the 800 metres, Zarastro in full flight. The favourite leads. Luskin Hero trails by just over a length. All that pizzazz is getting a gun run in third. 1 to Zuma California in 4 as they reach the halfway mark. Then Mass Destruction over on the inside of Hell I Am. Safe Work beginning a 3-wide run. Kanazawa, he'll be second last into the straight, and Ned's Gully will be in last position. Zarastro, the favourite, straight for home in front. All that pizzazz comes away from the inside to give chase. Then Luskin Hero, Zuma California, Safe Work and Hell I Am down the outside. Zarastro the leader though. All that pizzazz knuckling down gamely. Hasn't got Zarastro as yet. Zarastro still a length and a half in front. They're at the 100 metres. Zarastro in full flight, going great guns, and the favourite leads all of the way. All that pizzazz second, Safe Work third, fourth Mass Destruction, then Ned's Gully followed by Hell I Am. Well back was at the head of the others, Luskin Hero, Kanazawa, and Zuma California ran last. Zarastro, no dramas there if you're on the favourite. Straight to the lead, never headed.
It's all about Zarastro. He let the big boy roll from the front. Got it fairly cruisy. Luskin Hero went across and sat a length off him, and he always travelled strongly in front. All that pizzazz was right there at the top of the straight if he was good enough, but I think all that pizzazz found the difference in the handicaps. The 54.5 opposed to his 57.5, a little bit beyond him, and he was chasing a horse that cost a small fortune as a yearling by I Am Invincible, and he looked every bit an expensive racehorse too in the mounting yard. He picked himself, and he's kept up a really strong gallop over the final part. Mass Destruction gets fourth, Bernie, but over the final part, it was pretty much a stroll in the park for the big favourite, Zarastro.
Was a stroll in the park in the end, and just beautifully rated by Ange as well. Tony joins us for a chat now, and a big relief, but no surprise for you, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if relief is the right word, Bern. I think that all my three in that race got into their right positions and all had their chance to run well. He did what I probably expected he would do. He dropped in weight nicely. I thought Ange would handle him really well, and she did. She didn't go too slow. She went on just a nice controlled gallop, and he quickened beautifully off it. He's a really impressive horse, and if you saw him parade today, it's by far the best I've turned him out in the 3 runs I've given him. He paraded like a real fit, nice racehorse today, and lovely settled down the back. So he's got a lot in store for him, this bloke. He's done really well since he got here to Queensland, and we're not finished with him yet.
No, I doubt you aren't. Had a few issues, obviously, the early horse, some feet issues. It's all good now?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't train him then, but since I've had him, we're pretty keen on how we wanted to do things with him, and maybe I've got him. I think I've got him at the right time, to be honest. He's a beautiful, mature gelding. He's a 5-year-old horse that, you know, a lot of times with horses we don't get to see the best of them until they get to the right age, and I think he's just pointing case, to be honest. He's a lovely horse, and I know the big team of owners here, they're all very excited, and as they should be.
Where do you dare to aim with this horse?
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't need to worry about it at the moment. I'm just really happy putting him through his grades. There's a lovely 85 here in 4 weeks' time, and I'd imagine he'd be well placed in that as well. So we'll put him in for the Wheatwood, but I wouldn't care if I didn't get in, put it that way. I think I can just keep putting him through his grades, and he's got a really good 12 months ahead for a really good bunch of owners, a lot of good mates in the horse, and I'm just thrilled for them all.
Good on you, Tone. Perfecto. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, our leading trainer, Tony Gollan. 10 beats to 8 and 3 as we head to Hawkesbury. Oh, he smashed it. Ange is here. All right, let's have a chat to winning jockey Ange Jones now. And Ange, beautifully rated, really beautiful, because he's a whole lot of horse, isn't he? And he wanted to go a little bit quicker.
Yeah, he probably did, but he's one of those horses that almost rates himself in a way. He's got a lovely big stride, and you feel comfortable just sitting against him just a touch, and he doesn't overdo it too much, and he just gives you that confidence in running, which is beautiful, and he really let down well today.
He did, and he loved that fence too, didn't he?
He did. Tony said maybe come one off, but he really wanted to track it, and I let him slide down to it, and it wasn't going to slow him up.
Happy horses are winning horses. Well done.
So, thank you.
Set to go. Starter has a last look down the line. Racing. Bullfinch anticipated the start well with Fender, and Tumbler Ridge went forward outside the pair. Anime driving up near the inside. Cepheus came out well. He's a bit wide early, but he'll push on. Then Irish Songs, followed by Hot Spring Gold, Shaquiro. Williamsburg settles second last of the first call, and looks like Elvis is last of all. Tumbler Ridge leads. Cepheus comes across comfortably, and the one-time favourite sits second outside of Tumbler Ridge. Anime third the box seat. Fender in a one-out, one-back position. Two away to Bullfinch outside of Irish Songs as they go towards the half mile. Next pair, Shaquira on the inside of Hot Spring Gold, and together at the tail, Williamsburg. It also looks like Elvis. Speed looks to be genuine, 700 from the judge. Tumbler Ridge first up today, a length over Cepheus, racing in second. Animate a length and a half back third. Fender in 4 at the 600. Then Irish Songs, 3 pairs back on the fence, followed by Bullfinch. Shaquiro hunting the rail. Then came Hot Spring Gold being niggled at. Williamsburg pulled to the outside, but still 6 to 7 off them. And looks like Elvis out towards the tail. Animate dashed up on the outside to join Tumbler Ridge. Irish Songs getting a split. Then came Cepheus. Bullfinch down the outside with a strong rider. Williamsburg with a bit of work to do. It's Animate and Irish Songs. Bullfinch on the outside is trying hard. Now Irish Songs reaches the lead. Bullfinch comes after it gamely. Irish Songs has got a margin. Irish Songs won the Members' Cup. Beat home Bullfinch, Animate and Williamsburg. Cepheus didn't come on when required. Then looks like Elvis, followed by Hot Spring Gold, Tumbler Ridge, Shaquiro out towards the tail with Fender, who pulled up in last position.
We've got Louise when you're ready, guys. All right, what a win by Irish Songs here in the Tatterstalls Members' Cup over 1,400 metres. Louise White joins us for a chat now, and you can really puff that chest out now. Well done.
Thanks, Bernie. No, I'm pretty happy with that. Had a very good day. Like, obviously, I've only got a small stable, but to have a winner and a second's pretty awesome, especially both for Lex, so it's really good.
Yeah, they have both run super races. This race on paper for this guy looked ugly because it didn't look like there was much tempo, but it ended up not too bad.
When he draws a barrier, he can be that little bit closer, but when he draws wide so often, they have to go back on him, otherwise they're just going to be ripping and tearing.
Yeah. So. Obviously, he was a Glasshouse winner just a couple of starts ago, and then he had a little bit of a break.
Yeah, he just, like he's an older horse, we just keep him fresh and ticking over. We don't work him too hard because he works so hard himself, so we just let him rule the show and he's quite happy.
He loves ruling the show, doesn't he? He's just charging along, and he's been, since he's come to your stable, he's just been a money producer, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. Definitely a big help for me, and yeah, really stoked to have him. He's a bit of a character, and he fits in well.
Where to now with him?
I've just got to discuss it with Lex. We've got a few different ideas. We just got to work it out completely.
I'll wait with bated breath. Well done.
No worries. Thanks, Bernie.
All right, we'll have a chat now with Jake and get his thoughts on this guy, but he's a very strong horse. He looked right in the zone today, and Jake, obviously a really strong rider and really getting the most out of this guy late. Perfect trip. He likes this. Well, he hadn't won at this track, actually, and on face value, when you looked at his form, you thought, ooh, but when you went back through it, it actually was all right.
Yeah, look, all his starts, he goes around a bit of a quote, but hand in hand down, he's probably one of the better horses really in the race, and I had one instruction was to stay off the fence. I was there after 3 strides, so more so because he pulls hard just to give him some room, but he relaxed well enough for me, and the run just opened up and got a little bit of a split there at the top of the straight, and he really knuckled down and put away nicely. And look, he's just a trier. His work was enormous on Tuesday on the course proper at Sunny Coast. So I come in here with plenty of confidence.
He looked magic that last furlong in full flight. I bet he felt amazing.
Yeah, you just had to look at him in the yard. His coat was glowing. The form's there. Just everything had to go his way, and it worked out perfectly.
Well done.
Thank you.
Stand by. Racing Brisbane. Titanium came away slowly at the start and Bedford Square was sluggishly out. Star of Chaos began fast. Manawatakbe revved up today. He's showing good speed. Third away Our Magnus, and then came Winston Smurfield, Enterprise Mere and Sea Ripple. Bold Warrior in that bunch as well. Then Hard Raver, Shar of Gomer popping into bed just a touch worse in midfield, one off the rail. Then came Fast Coney. A few lengths away Bedford Square, Lucky Decision, and Titanium is last of all. Into the first bend, 900 left to run. Star of Chaos, the pace setter, leads Manawatakbe by a length, and Our Magnus. Ormond has the favourite sitting pretty, third the rail. 3 wide there as they run down the side was Winston Smurfield. No lead for him today. Sea Ripple in 5th position. Enterprise Mere, a victim of the alley, caught wide. Hard Raven near the rail. Then Bold Warrior, Shar of Gomer, now travelling into the picture, 3 wide with cover. Fast Coney, 4th last on the fence. Bedford Square, 3rd last. Lucky Decision, 2nd last, and Titanium was the trailer. By the 400 metre pole, Star of Chaos in full flight. Our Magnus now starts to wind up on the outside, trying to come after this leader, and I can see Shar of Gomer putting in a strong run down the outside. Our Magnus immediately under pressure. Star of Chaos still a leader. Shar of Gomer giving chase. Then came Our Magnus, who can't go on. Then Bedford Square. How much gas in the tank with Star of Chaos? Shar of Gomer's run has ended. Star of Chaos all the way. Beat home Shar of Gomer. Bedford Square on the rail 3rd, and maybe Titanium 4th. Hard Raven not far away. Our Magnus had his chance. Then Fast Coney, Enterprise Mere, followed by Lucky Decision, Sea Ripple, then Winston Smurfield, Bold Warrior, and Manawatakbe last over the line.
Well, she's been able to do what she did last time, roll along in front on her own, and home she goes. Star of Chaos giving Ange Jones a double today. Shara Gomar was good. He was on the back of a couple coming into the race, but he had to come wide there in that big field, and Star of Chaos got a big break on him. He's really narrowed the margin in the straight. He's made up about 5, Shar of Gomar, but she was getting it cruisy and has been able to make it back-to-back wins. Bedford Square zipping through along the inside to get 3rd, and then Titanium. So 10, 13, 14 and 7. So Star of Chaos, trained by Tony Gollan. He's only had her for 3 starts. They liked her at a first start at Doomben back in late July, but things didn't work out at all. And then back to the drawing board, changed up the gear with her. And she hasn't looked back, Bernie, burning the candle at both ends. Granted, she's been getting it pretty cruisy on the lead.
Yes, Tony has certainly got this lady worked out. So well done, Tone, on back-to-back wins.
Yeah, thanks, Bern. It's really good to get a horse for Kiora Stud. Lukey Wilkinson and the team sent her up, and I probably erred a touch first up. I did some gear alterations, which I probably shouldn't have, and we got her right out to a trip second up, and she was really good, but she had that bit of a space between runs out of that 1350, and I just thought she was absolutely spot on today to 1400. She was a fortnight between runs, and she was just in a really good place. So she showed that today. I was versatile enough. I didn't really mind where we were in the run, anywhere in the first 3, but it just panned out. She pinged the lids like she did 2 weeks ago at Doom, and she put herself there, and she didn't go too slow. She went a nice control gallop in front, but she was going quick enough, and having been a mile winner in the past, I was no worries about her running a strong 1400.
Yeah, I love seeing these sort of genuinely run races, you know, where so many horses are actually disadvantaged stacking up in front.
Yeah, well, I think our two winners today both went in a good genuine clip and they were strong enough to hold off. And they're both horses, you know, had good form enough down south to come here and do a good job. So I really like this mare. I think if obviously they're going to keep her racing, I'd say, for the next year. And if they do, I'm sure there's more black type racing, particularly up here in Queensland with me ahead of her.
And this is great for Angela as well.
Oh, look, there's not much more I can say about her. She won the Apprentices Premiership by 100 yards and just run into a couple of really hot seniors last season. But for her first year out of her time, she's in working hard every day at our stable. She hasn't had a one day off. So, you know, we don't rest on our laurels, and she's certainly not. So she's doing a great job and she deserves everything she gets.
Not like you to work jockeys hard, Tony.
End of story.
All right, Ange, congratulations on a Metro double here today. Super riding, and this lady, I know you're going to tell me she made it easy for you.
Yeah, she did. No, Tony said before she was rock hard fit, and he was right about that. She certainly was, and she settled nicely for me, and she gave a nice kick. I was probably worried after we kicked clear so early on in the straight, but she's done well, and she likes it here at Eagle Farm.
I love that you're listening to these horses. You're rolling at just the right tempo.
Yeah.
Not too slow.
It helps when they want to go at that speed as well, and some of them don't let you go too slow.
Golden hands. Well done.
Thank you.